Hey guys, this is Pikmin Master. Welcome to Top 97, my favorite Game Boy Advance games. Now, initially, I wanted to do just my favorite DS games and skip out on Game Boy Advance, but I kind of want context from the Game Boy Advance list for a number of the entries for my top 98 DS games. So, time to do my favorite Game Boy Advance games. Now, I haven't played most, if not all of these, from a long time, so what I'm gonna say about this list is mostly due to memory alone. So just don't count on it being a real thing. But this list has been made quite a long time ago, and I'm still sticking to it. All right, so let's get started. Is Sword of Mana. Now, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but maybe because it's due to all the complexity in Sword of Mana that makes me like it so much. Now, I don't remember beating it, so that's why it's this low on this list. But with Sword of Mana, it's from what I've read in Wikipedia, it's like a remake of Final Fantasy Adventure, which is like a little spin-off thing, but made with Final Fantasy name on it just to create, you know, fake hype or whatever. But the game is good nonetheless, because like you control either a boy or a girl, and then you have different varying different weapons, just like in another spot in this list, and each one, you know, does different things, and then you have different elemental magic based on spirits, so to say, as they call it. And you know, they provide all the elemental things, or in the case of one of them, they heal. But they also add to the gameplay quite a bit. Also, when you use spells, they also are different depending on what weapon you use, so lots of complexity there too. But the game is overall really fun, although I've never finished it. I don't remember why. I think it's because of a difficulty spike, or because I just got bored of it. But I don't remember. Now, Bro and I have played the DS game Children of Mana, but because it's not on this list, I might as well tell you about it. Now, Bro actually stopped playing the DS game Children of Mana quite early on. I think mostly because it got really boring really fast. And even though it had a multiplayer option, so you know, Bro could play together in the same room. However, the game just got boring real fast. So if Sword of Mana had like multiplayer, then it would have been like really epic. But I guess that's not the case. So moving on. Is Minish Cap, the only Zelda game I actually kind of like. Now, I don't remember why I like Minish Cap. I think I remember beating it twice, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a game I just like. I have no real reason why I like it, because, like I said many times before, I'm not a Zelda fan, not particularly a big fan of most Zelda games, because whenever I start a Zelda game, I just get bored of it really quickly. Be it 2D Zeldas like Link to the Past, or 3D Zeldas like Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. I'm just not particularly interested in them. Heck, I still have Twilight Princess, I still have Link's Awakening digitally, and I never played them. Just, no. I mean, heck, the reason why I like, let's say, Hyrule Warriors is because it's not a Zelda game, it doesn't act like one. So I have no reason to hate it. Plus, it's really fun. Insert regular shell here. But there you go. I just like Minish Cap. Maybe because of all the weird collectibles and the trading mechanics, and I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe because of the music. I don't know. It's just Minish Cap 14 because I don't know. Like Adventure Time. Is Kirby the Amazing Mirror, because it's a person I can still consider the Amazing Mirror to be, if not the best Kirby game. But then again, it's mostly because it's multiplayer, but then again, Return to Dreamland has this too. But Bro and I really like Amazing Mirror due to its multiplayer, because it has a lot of differing abilities that not even Return to Dreamland has. But of course, Return to Dreamland has the Uber Spark Kirby, so yeah, Kirby the Amazing Mirror is really fun. See, with the weird like cell phone mechanic where you can call your other Kirby so that you can stick together, or you just be farther apart. That's the cool thing about Amazing Mirror, is that you and your friends can just go basically wherever. You don't have to stick together. It's like for example, like someone can go to one corner of the I think it's the Metrovania map. Is it Metrovania? I think so. I don't remember. I think it has some Metrovania elements. So one person can go one corner and then do your thing, and then I can go to a different corner of the map and do my own thing, and then the game doesn't really care, and the game doesn't force you to stick together like, let's say, Subspace Emissary or in most multiplayer platformers. Hint, hint, 3D World. But then again, I think 3D World's a really bad example, but we get the idea though. It's just a really really fun multiplayer game. That's like I still consider my favorite Kirby game. Even though I never made a top for Kirby games, but you already know now you know my favorite Kirby game is. That being said, I still haven't played Triple Deluxe, so I don't know if I should really get it or not. I don't know. Moving on. Tactics Ogre, the Knight of Lotus. Okay, this is mostly due to the #1 on this list. Because I don't remember what came first. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance or this game? But I think this game came before. But I think I never heard of either until much later. But Tactics Ogre, I don't know what to say, because like you can play as there's lots of different like species. Each of them have what certain elements that they're attuned to, like water or wind, or was it wind or fire? Was wind or lightning? I don't remember. But it was long time ago. I think I don't care. You can play as a mermaid, and that itself is pretty cool. And each one, I think, doesn't like everyone equip any kind of weapon, but they're just better off with one or the other. I don't remember. But the reason why this game is this low on this list, but for somehow above Kirby Amazing Mirror, is that I still don't understand like how units can promote, since I know there's the mechanic that units can promote. I just don't know how. Just like whenever I use promote, they just do. So, this game is like I guess it's very complex. I do like a lot of mechanics of this game. Different things. They're all pretty cool. And of course, like I like the fact that their sprites are the same as Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. That one can mix and match them more or less. It's pretty cool. And of course, like the one thing that I remember most out of it is that when you start a battle, there's this weird voice saying "Fought it out," in the most like deadpan, like low voice I've ever heard up to that point. And it just whenever Bro and I hear that, just laugh. It's just very memorable. Final Fantasy VI Advance. Okay, now you're probably wondering, what? You would think that in a game for a favorite Game Advance game, you would think that I would make a rule of no ports or no remakes, but I'm not. And this game is why. Well, no, this is another game is why. But 6 Advance, I don't think he's like I can't say if I like it over the SNES version, but mostly due to the character, like the Esper Tri-Talk is like has a really stupid name. I forget what it was. And then there's this one Midgard Sommer. I think that's the name of the one. That's a really freaking ridiculous name. But other than that, I like Final Fantasy 6. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy, but it is very cool. It's a very cool game. I really do like it. Now, for the record, Final Fantasy 4 Advance is not on this list, and is it on the DS list? No, it's not. But I will say this: while I do like 4, I can't say I like it over 6. So you know, I do like 4. Lots of mechanics of 4 do I like, especially with the 5 in a group kind of mechanic that other games don't have. But I just like 6's mechanics a lot more. I guess mostly due to the what's it called? You know how the magic system works. It's kind of almost like Final Fantasy 7 in a way, but then again, this game came earlier. Where the Great, I don't remember what the name of the things are. Yeah, thanks me. But, I'll just call it the materia until future me puts up the name of the actual thing. But, how you can equip different kinds of magic to each character, and then I don't remember if Final Fantasy 6 has this, well, 7. I know 7 has it where you equip certain materia, your magic stack grows and your physical stats don't, get lessened. But before 6, at least, like you can learn different magics, and heck, even like different summons, some of the espers. With everything else in 6 with the mechanics of magic, I do like. And this is one thing why I like 7. It's mostly due to its battle mechanics and how complex like the magic system is. That's why I do like about Final Fantasy 6 and 7. But this is a Game Boy Advance list, and last time I checked, there's no Final Fantasy 7 Advance, so I'll put it on 6. Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. Oh boy, I remember this game. I remember having this game. Heck, to be honest, I never owned Pokemon Pinball the original, but for Ruby and Sapphire, it's a very, I guess, semi-addicting game. The best thing I can remember out of that is catching Rayquaza, because getting Rayquaza in Ruby and Sapphire and Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire is very tedious because it requires you to get Groudon or Kyogre twice. So to be the Groudon or Kyogre gets to the stage twice, and then moving to Rayquaza. And getting to Groudon or Kyogre is in itself a huge chore because you need to beat the stage. You beat the stage before you go again to catch them, and that itself takes a while because You can like do certain mini games, but then you need to get to certain mini games, and oh my goodness, like getting Rayquaza in that game was complex and really tedious, and you have to do it all in one go. It is insane, but it was awesome. It was like pure awesome. But yeah, a lot of game mechanics in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire that I like most is pinball and pinball and Pokemon and catching different things, and yeah, I guess that's why I want to like Pokemon Shuffle now. Because even though I hate the idea of Pokemon Shuffle, I started playing. I like Pokemon Shuffle. But not more in Rumble World, just so you know. But yeah, I do like a Pokemon Ruby Sapphire because like of all the tedium, but that's a good it's kind of good tedium, and it's kind of getting it's kind of satisfying. I think that's what I'm gonna take out of this game. The game is satisfying once you do the things you want to do on it. Summer Night Swordcraft Story 2. This is in the same vein as Sword of Mana, in which like this is a game where one you can you have your character, you can equip like several different weapons and several different kinds of weapons, and each one does a certain thing. Even in the overworld, I don't remember Sword of Mana does this, but even in the overworld of this game, different weapons do certain things. I think I remember right. I think the sword cuts grass. I know the drill. You can equip a drill in this game. They cut through rocks, or was it the hammers? I don't remember. No, but the hammer is like kind of important because like the hammer is well, I think it's only like one or like few hammers. Since your character is a blacksmith, so you create different weapons using different materials. And of course, each one does a certain thing, and each one looks pretty cool. I think there's a chainsaw sword in one of them. I love chainsaw swords. They're pretty cool. But however, technically, your main weapon is a hammer, since your hammer doesn't have any I guess doesn't have any durability. Because you know how in Monster Hunter you need like after you do certain hits, your sharpness just goes down, and you need to apply whetstone or something to bring it up to full sharpness. Same idea in this game, except that once you run out of your durability or sharpness, the weapon breaks. You know, the weapon just gone. And if you want it again, you have to remake that weapon. And then also it's a cool thing you can like add towards making weapons. There's some more to it. You just make a weapon and put some added bonuses to it. And it's just really cool. The whole all the mechanics of weapon building. It's pretty amazing in this game. Now, this game, from what I have been heard, seen, whatever, plays like... What was that? Is there a Game of Advance Tales game? It plays like that, from what I heard. But it's like something one of the early Tales games. So if you get the idea how it plays, similar to that. But other than that, that's what I Starcraft Story 2. Also, fun fact: this game is where I got the name Megan from. Now, if we don't know like what do you mean by where I got the name Megan from, in my ORAS file, my character's name is Megan. Now, if you wonder why that's a thing, well, Megan is kind of a regular name. But in the beginning of this game, you get to choose one of 4 different like partners, and each partner represents a different element: fire, water, wind, and what was it? Lightning? No, it was fire, water, wind, and I think it's lightning. I don't remember. But I chose the water one, which is a kind of like a half demon, half angel kind of girl thing. But and then just randomly name her Megan because I don't know, just randomly name her that, and it just stuck since. And I since then like named my character pool on Sapphire Megan, and then through various different whatevers, whenever I play a girl character, it's always going to be either Megan or Jewel. And Jewel comes from Pokemon Crystal, because, you know, weapon's kind of like a gem, and Jewel's like a different, a synonym for gem. So there you go. There you go, that's where I got one of my main female names from this game. Next. Mario Tennis Power Tour. I made an LP of it. It ain't that good, but I like it nonetheless. I still have the game. I remember I still have that game, but I got the game like legit because my brother wanted me to get a physical copy of Power Tour after beating it once or twice. Because once it gets the different power shots you can get. Because I figured, of course, will be, was it Elroy's power shot, in which he spins around, freezes the area, and then hits the ball covered in ice. And I love me some ice, because I'm an ice person. And of course, the defense shot is always going to be the hand one, where you just throw it, you get a weird hand in the vein of freaking Golden Sun, and you know, just put it all to the other side of your defense shot. Oh wait, speaking of freaking Golden Sun, one, I haven't played in a long time. B, same company, so I just realized just now that it makes sense why that hand thing is a thing. Because of freaking Golden Sun. Huh. Okay. Also, stories these. Not much more to say. Next. WarioWare 4. Okay, if I'm right, was it? This is actually my first Game Boy Advance game, if I remember right. Either that or Super Mario Advance. I don't know. It's one of the two. That was my first Game Boy Advance game. I think it's the other one, but whatever. Either way. Now, prior to this is not the first WarioWare game I ever played. The first WarioWare game I ever played was 3. However, if I remember right, one of the times I went to DR, I right near like the tail end of my trip there, I think it was my brother who had a Lost Star Game Boy Color and with WarioWare 3 in it. And I don't remember if my cousin who was there when it happened still has it. I doubt it. But because if it was there, I would have known about it because she lives here now, see regularly now. But point is that we no longer have WarioWare 3, even though we both beat it. At least I remember beating it. But it was a really fun game. So WarioWare 4 is a thing, and so we beat the game, and it was quite easy. I think I don't think we both beat it in a day once. But it's a really fun game, especially with the hurry up theme, which is the music I really want for Smash. Because it gets like a really pumped up feel, right? Because like the hurry up theme is gets you pumped up, especially at one of the last levels of the game where the whole thing timed. Cause the whole thing is that you go get, so you as Wario go get different pieces of a giant treasure, then go get the key bird, and do the go to the end of the stage to reopen the portal back. However, to move the portal back and go in a time limit, but for one of the later stages, you have to do a whole thing timed is insane. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. It's easy, but it is quite challenging, but it's kind of worth it. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls. Okay, this is actually, even though my first exposure to Final Fantasy was 10 during a trip to one of my other cousins' place in somewhere in New York City, I forgot where. But, yeah, that was my first experience with Final Fantasy. It was Final Fantasy 10. I loved it a lot, because it reminded me of Pokemon a bit. So, because it reminded me of Pokemon a bit, which is, a turn-based RPG. So, I got into Final Fantasy over there, and the first exposure to Final Fantasy was this one here. 1 and 2. Now, I beat Final Fantasy 1 and 2 multiple times, and I guess they're both pretty great games. Granted, Final Fantasy 1 has, insane, encounter rates, but I guess it'll also be worth worth playing. Heck, this game is the reason why Min was my favorite video game character of all time. So, having played that, there you go. This history's made. So I got not really more to say, but oh yeah, I have. But actually have hacked the game several times with Game Shark, which I no longer have. But it was worth doing certain things. Kind of sucks that to my knowledge, there is no Game Shark code to have anyone use any magic. Because if it were the case, I would have my white mage character hold the Masamune whatever sword, whatever sword, and then equipping the Blizzard magic. That would be freaking amazing. But no, at least I have Minwu for that, so whatever. Sonic Battle. This is my favorite Sonic game of all time. Mostly because I don't know why it's my favorite Sonic game of all time. Because I think I played the original Sonic games through through a collection. I think it's on DS. I stopped for all games for partially through because I just didn't really care that much about Sonic. Doesn't really help that there's some places, I think it's Sonic 2, that you have to stand there and stand there in the conveyor belt and the water stage, and then things got really difficult. Just no, forget it. So the only other Sonic game really tried to be a Sonic Heroes. I liked it a lot. I liked it quite a bit. It's not that bad. But my favorite game is definitely Sonic Battle. I don't remember which came first. This game or Melee? No, I think Melee came before this. But yeah, because it looks like Super Smash Bros. But with Sonic characters. And because this is a time before Brawl came a thing. Yeah. And plus you get a customizable robot that you can put anyone's moves in. You can have Sonic's shot special, and maybe you have Knuckles' drill trap where it tries underground and then explodes like a mine, or have this entrance, or have its entrance pose be like Rouge's, in which there's Rouge's entrance is she's just slowly flapping down, or that, or you can even have a color scheme similar to what was it, Gamma. So we have to do the Gamma, or it can even explode like Gamma, because most characters die. They do this weird transition when they disappear. But for Gamma explodes. You could have Emerald when it dies explode like Gamma, and whenever Gamma or Emerald with that particular thing dies, the explosion actually does damage. It can't kill. So it's pretty fun. Of course, my favorites are Chaos. Because with Chaos, there's the moves you put your hand on the ground and there's a lot of weird watery things happen. However, as Emerald, if you use the default color scheme, you have brown water, randomly appearing nowhere during attacks. It just looks disgusting, but looks pretty cool. And you can change that color too to get pink, like pink like Amy's, or yellow like Tails. That's what I did. So I just love Sonic Battle, and Emerald is still my favorite Sonic character of all time. Because this game is so awesome. Four is Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. If you haven't seen Charlie Conroy's Let's Play of it, go watch that. I'll just go finish watching that and then come back here. But if you don't care, good. Now, Superstar Saga is an easy game. It is very easy, but it is just worth it. It's a very worth it game, especially with the Game Boy player. Bro and I can actually play multiplayer on it with him as Mario and me as Luigi. It's really awesome. It's a pretty awesome experience. I don't remember if we beat it using this method, but I think I still have that game now that I think about it, but I don't have the Game Boy player anymore since I'm not using the GameCube anymore. But Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga is a great game. It's lots of humor. The battle system is top notch. And all the characters are pretty cool. All the bad guys are cool. Location is cool. Joke's End is cool, literally, because it's a nice place. But yeah, Mario Super Saga, cool game. Also kind of cool is that because I had a Mario Advance first, but prior to this, and that had a Mario Bros. Arcade thing to it. Bro and I could have do the Mario Bros. Arcade game. Like one has Mario Superstar Saga, and the other is Mario Advance. They could play multiplayer with that arcade game. It's also pretty cool. And nothing more to say here, just, it's a cool game. What else more to say? Pokemon Ruby, you would think that with the introduction of Gardevoir, you would think that Pokemon Ruby would be higher. You would think Ruby at least 2. But it ain't. Because the next 2 are just like it a lot more. Also, mostly because I like those 2 more in hindsight, and Pokemon Ruby just more in times. So, Pokemon Ruby. Now, I played Pokemon all the way back to the beginning, back in Gen 1. Now, Bro and I in Bro's favorite Pokemon tops, we talked about like how I lost my Pokemon Gold, and it was very painful, but I got Pokemon Crystal after that, don't worry about it. And then Ruby came along, and then, okay, now here's an interesting story about Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, because he had Sapphire. Now, here's an interesting story, because even though, yes, this video is running really long, but I have to mention this story, because this is important, but also will be important to top 100. So, I'll talk about just the relevant parts. So, with, so I think we went to a Kmart that is now a Target, in my area. We, bought a Ruby and Sapphire, instruction guide. I don't think we have it anymore. If we do, it's probably broken up to no end. But, we had it. We looked at the Pokedex to see how cool the Pokemon are. Then was the Gardevoir, but I'm gonna talk about that later. And then went to the end to where you see Rayquaza. Now, Bro and I thought, okay, get this. Bro and I thought at that time that Rayquaza would be an evolution of Groudon. However, of course, it couldn't be because it's 2 different types and it's different colors. But we thought, oh, hey, yeah, maybe like this last one, Rayquaza, as we called it, because how else would we call it? We didn't know what a Quasar is. But yeah, we thought, oh, Rayquaza looks stupid. It looks like the ugliest thing ever, and it still is. But better look at Mega Rayquaza. So, but Mega Rayquaza looks so ugly. But it looks like an evolution of Groudon, all the different like circles and stuff. And then again, Kyber, same thing. But once we got the game was fun. Of course, for me, like my reaction to when at the beginning of Ruby is, Trigger looks ugly, Mudkip looks ugly. Take the one that's left, and it just went through the game from there. Then Gardevoir happened, and then I could talk about that. We'll talk about that later. And then, long story short, I beat Pokemon Ruby with first team using at least like a Pokemon from from Pokemon Coliseum, and another Pokemon from someone else entirely, from my best friend at the time. So he got his Salamence. It was in my my Ninja Pokemon Ruby team. So there you go. I also remember getting a freaking level 100 Regice stage for my starter. One of my neighbors, and I semi-regret it ever since. But my original starter is gone. Like, was gone. But then again, I rebooted Pokemon Ruby for the first time in a long time, and then just, you know what? Start over Pokemon Ruby. I don't care. Get my team back. Get the party back together. Just put 4 Pokemon. Why not? And then just put on my Pokemon. It's an X right now. So, and then the history's made. Done. And I want to talk more about Gardevoir, but of course, I have to wait till later. But the point is that Pokemon Ruby is still very endearing. I still love Pokemon Ruby. I don't have any. Do I still have it? I don't think so. I don't remember. But it's very endearing, and granted, it's still not my favorite Pokemon game of all time. That will probably go to either Pokemon Heart Gold or Pokemon White/Y2. But you get the idea. It's just very endearing. That's why I still say Gen 3 is my favorite gen, because even though I played the 2 gens before it, I like Pokemon 3. I like Gen 3 because it just makes me have more memories. Five Advance! Okay! Now, remember I said about 6 Advance so that I'm not counting ports? So, because my favorite Final Fantasy game is on GBA now, let's go! Now, the thing with 5 Advance is that even though I have technically played the SNES version due to an emulator, granted this one for an emulator too, but the last thing I like about the advanced version more than the SNES version, mostly because the SNES version is kind of lame. Mostly because it's very highly untranslated. It wasn't until even the PS1 version is very untranslatable, just terrible qualities when it comes to text and the names and the sort of thing, which with the advanced version fixed. Which is why even if I'm including the prior version of 5, I am going to include the advanced version above the others. So unlike 6, which I don't particularly care between the SNES or the GBA versions, this one I care more about the GBA version, so I'm sticking to it. 5. It's my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time, and of course it's the advanced version is gonna be my favorite Final Fantasy mainline series game, because there's another game I mentioned before, but that's on the top spot. Moving on though. 5. Okay, so I love the fact, 1, I love all his characters. I love Bart. Bart is cool. Gallo's cool. Len is cool. Ferris is cool. Krill is cool. Although I don't particularly care about Krill that much. X-Step is cool. Gilgamesh, enough said. The world is pretty neat. The music's amazing. What else? What am I missing? I don't know, the gameplay says all the job classes are amazing. In a situation where I can be a knight class and equip white magic, or be a white mage and equip swords. Although granted that latter part took a while, but I managed to do it anyway. And then there's the blue mage, which I think the reason why I like Final Fantasy V in the first place was because of the blue mage. Even though the blue mage isn't my favorite job class, I think that got me hooked. Just the idea of having to learn moves from the monsters themselves, getting hit by a certain move from a monster, and then I could use that move. That is cool. Like, even though, yeah, God Punch sometimes kind of sucks, but once it get to that instant kill move, I forgot the name of, from that hand, I think it was a hand creature, from the end of a certain castle area. I get to learn a freaking instant death move from a monster that's can't be used again, because it's the only time that move's ever used, except for Azul Magia, but that's a different story. But the idea of the blue mage got me hooked into 5, and even though I guess I have played Final Fantasy 1 and 2, but prior to this, 5 is what got me just I love this game. It's just I love this game so much. I would like to play Final Fantasy 5 Advance. Or better yet, hey, Square Enix! 5 is popular, right? Is it? Then why don't you put either A, port the freaking Advance version to Wii U, or B, remake, or B, don't just freaking leave the iOS version of 5, Just don't leave it alone. Put it in 3DS or something, or I don't know, put it on NX or something. Just put 5 back somewhere. I want to actually buy the game instead of just having to get a freaking mobile phone for it, or just buy a Game Boy Advance thing, which I don't use anymore because I'm using my 3DS. Just let me get the game again. Okay, let's just move on to the last one. You probably know what it is because I mentioned it several times, and yeah. One is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance that I've also made a Let's Play on. Well, that's like a way to play through on, but I call it Let's Play. Whatever. I did one there, and it wasn't until like during that Let's Play that I did of FTA that I realized that nobody wants to watch this game. And then I realized, wait, this isn't exactly a game that you watch. This is a game where you rather play. Because I like fighting games where it's really just as fun, if not more fun, to watch and to play, considering depends on how your experience with fighting games. But with this game, not so much. It's like the opposite. It's better off a game you play than a game you watch. But I digress. With FTA, like everything about it, this game reminds a lot of Final Fantasy V. Now, do the whole Jog class, like even different races. Each different race has a different Jog classes, and each Jog class can have a subset of abilities. Like example, I could have my summoner wield Red Magic's dual cast, which I did. But and a lot of the characters I do remember. I do remember my main Viera Elma. I do remember, what was it? Joseph. It was about ninja. I do remember a. I think my brother had a Silver Numo. I forgot what the names were. But apparently, so long story short, I remember the names because Bro and I put the names of them on our Wii's Mii's. So we put Mii's out of our characters from Tactics Advance, not from the LP of it, from a different playthrough of it. But yeah, that's how we can remember it. Remember some of our favorite characters. Yeah, because like FTA is very memorable to me. It's a game I really like to play again. Like but of course, like freaking Square isn't putting their good GBA games onto Virtual Console yet, so waiting on that. But it's a game that I really do want to play again. Just like with other games on this list that I do want to play again, with Mary not want to beat them again, but whatever. But Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is a game that I still love to this day. It's still my favorite Game Boy Advance game. Well over 5, well over Pokemon Ruby, well over even games that what games I actually love for similar reasons. But it just is my favorite Game Boy Advance game. Granted, it's still, while 5 is my favorite game overall than the Tactics Advance, but I like the experience more on experience as a game on FTA. But I like overall concept, all different things of 5 more than FTA. Okay, so I'm not going to make a contradiction through another side tops I did earlier. So anyway, that's it for my favorite Game Boy Advance games. Though next time, of course, will be my favorite DS games. Now, 99 and 100 are already have their names, which 99 is going to be at least favorite Pokemon from Gen 6, and my favorite Pokemon for Just 100. So anyway, see you guys later.